version of the final warning letter dated February 22nd, 2013, I would have requested that the EEOC issue a subpoena to compel testimony by production of evidence under a penalty to obtain the original final warning letter and all related conversation about the document. Most importantly, had I known about this newly acquired final warning letter maliciously falsified with a date of February 22nd, 2013, I would have submitted into evidence an email transmission that demonstrates that the final warning letter dated March the 22nd, 2013, included as an attachment, was given to me on March the 22nd, 2013 by Susan Clark. So I'm going to show that to you. Email Susan Clark sends Kim Brown this email March the 22nd, 2013, a final warning letter. Kim Brown, March 2013. And here's the attachment. Again, dated March 2013, not February 2013. And here's where the email is located. And here's the original document. As you can see, it's unsigned. March the 22nd, 2013. Now, I would have requested that the EEOC conduct a face-to-face interview with Susan Clark on the penalties of perjury to determine the validity of the email dated March 22nd, 2013 and its attachment. Based on the evidence included in the Freedom of Information files, the EEOC never questioned the credibility or legitimacy of the unsigned final warning letters or the date discrepancies, which it identifies in its own processes as a means of determining reliability. Again, the EEOC identifies in its own processes a means of determining document reliability based on signatures and dates. I'm going to share with you again that document. Here's where it's located. And it comes under reliable evidence. And it states, some factors to consider in determining whether documents are reliable are whether they are obtained from the custodian of records. Kathy Baharamian is not a custodian of records, or the author of the document, or whether they are copies of or the original documents, and whether the documents are signed and dated. And as you can see here, there's no signature, there's no date. By failing to disclose this newly acquired evidence and by failing to enforce its own documented policy, once again, the EEOC denied me my legal right to examine my investigative file prior to issuing a final determination. Clearly, the EEOC demonstrated a concerted effort to intentionally defraud me. I relied on the EEOC to conduct an unbiased, impartial investigation. I relied on the EEOC to fully disclose all material evidence. I relied on the EEOC to publish a succinct investigative summary, citing to evidence collected. Unfortunate for me, I relied on the EEOC's deception. By the EEOC's hindrance of their own processes, I was denied my legal responsibility to overcome the burden of proof, where decisions are made based on the preponderance of evidence. Excuse me. At this point, I have demonstrated several counts of criminal fraudulent concealment committed by the Atlanta District EEOC office. So in May 2016, I sent an ethical complaint against Lucy Camper, alleging that the Atlanta District Office excluded, removed, withheld relevant material evidence from its investigative summary dated May 5th, 2015. I sent that letter to Office of Field Program Representative. And in this response came from the DC office, the Field Program Management Office, dated June 1st, 2016. It remains silent on the concealment suppression of material evidence and thereby continued the fraud. Still, with no answers to my concerns, in June 2016, I escalated the issue to Jean L. Dodaro. As you can see here, I sent this letter to Jean L. Dodaro at the Government Accountability Office, who investigates allegations of illegal and improper activities. To date, and today is October 2nd, 2016, I've received no response, not even an acknowledgement letter. And believe me, I confirmed delivery and pickup by his office. I also contacted the Office of the Inspector General, EEOC branch, under the direction of Milton Mayo in June 2016, who investigates allegations of fraud, waste and abuse, violations of the law, and misconduct by agency employees. Once again, I confirmed delivery and signature acceptance by his office. Yet I have not received any response, not even an acknowledgement letter, which is a written requirement according to the EEOC's policies. And according to its policies, that acknowledgement letter should be executed within 15 days of its receipt of the letter. Let's not forget about AT&T. What was AT&T trying to conceal by falsifying multiple documents? Is this their first time falsifying documents? That's just a question. Psychologists say that when you get away with a lie, it often impels you to continue your deceptions. Psychologists also suggest that liars often find themselves perpetrating more untruths to cover themselves or avoid punishment. Final question. Is AT&T and the EEOC held to a different standard when it comes to telling the truth? And more importantly, if AT&T has done nothing wrong, has not committed any discriminatory actions against me, why would they falsify documents? Now, How has this ordeal impacted me? Well, one, I was denied my legal responsibility to overcome the burden of proof. Two, the EEOC's actions impeded and delayed the resolution of my charge, EEOC number 410-2013-06225, by failing to follow its own documented process. In the EEOC's cursory review of the documents, which is what I've classified it, it failed to seriously investigate my charge, necessitating the only option for me to seek resolution via a costly lawsuit, which is pending dismissal because I cannot afford representation. Based on the evidence, the EEOC prolonged the resolution of this case, thereby prolonging my pain, my suffering, and my mental anguish. Excuse me. Had the EEOC conducted a thorough, timely investigation and not concealed and suppressed material evidence, the charge could have been resolved, negating the need for me to exhaust my savings account. I didn't want to mention this, but I will tell you this. It's no coincidence that over this same time period, my car was vandalized, my home was broken into, my privacy was violated, carcasses of dead animals were left on my doorsteps numerous times. Now let me tell you something personal about me. I'm a country girl. I'm from a small neighborhood called Progress, Mississippi, in the deep woods. I mean in the deep, deep woods. No indoor plumbing, no running water. Having grown up in that kind of environment, there were never dead carcasses on our doorsteps. But in the time period that this case has been ongoing, we found carcasses of dead animals on our doorsteps. Numerous accounts have been hacked, some repeatedly hacked, even financial accounts. I've been chased across multi-lane, busy highways in the middle of the day by someone trying to take my picture. Now, I'm 49 years old. I've been running all my life. And now, during this time period, all of these travesties are occurring. Frankly, this is entirely too much, but it's a fight worth fighting. We have to hold the powerful accountable. So I'm looking for an attorney licensed to practice law in Georgia, experienced in employment law and criminal fraudulent concealment, who is not afraid to take on giants like AT&T and powerful agencies like the EEOC, who abuse the very laws they are charged with upholding. If you are that person, if you are a member of that law firm, please contact me at 678-387-9520. Unfortunately, this is not a secure line. Let me repeat that. Unfortunately, this is not a secure line. I can be contacted via email at victory4569, that's VICTORY 4569 at yahoo.com, or at my home located at 3850 Devonwood Way, Beaufort, Georgia 30519. I'd like to thank you for listening, and please help me hold these powerful entities accountable for their misconduct and allow me and my family to move on with living.